Well, it's Halloween again, and it's not my third holiday. As a kid, didn't care for it. As an adult, I still don't care for it. However, now that I have children, I'm forced to take them out and spend time with them, and they seem to enjoy it, so I do it to put a smile on their face. But I don't care for Halloween. So why would I be reviewing or taking a look at Funko's horror Savage World figures, you might ask? Well, no reason, really, other than I need a Halloween-themed episode, so let's go ahead and do it. So, a little backstory to why I don't like Halloween. When I was smaller, traumatized, whatever you want to call it, trick-or-treating with my grandma and my mom, went to a house, guy popped out as Freddy Krueger, scared the shit out of me, and to this day, do not care for Halloween. So, fast forward now, as a teenager, I watched some horror films. I was always scared of them, but I forced myself to watch them. And the series that I watched was Halloween. I watched the entire series as a kid. All the movies that had came out to that point, even though through some of the movies I covered my eyes.
Stop being a
Fast forward, this was when we still were watching them on VHS. I always enjoyed the Halloween movies, even though I was scared of them. And I've always liked Michael Myers. And so with it being Halloween and the new Halloween movie coming on out, and just for the fact that I really like these Savage World toys from Funko, I decided to go ahead and pick up a few. So a little bit more backstory. As I got older, I had a group of friends. To this day, they're my best friends. Every Monday night when I was in my early 20s, we would go to the movies, hang out. You know, it was guys' night, Monday night, and they love horror. They're big horror genre guys. I don't care for it, like I said, but I'm not gonna bitch out.
Stop being a come on.
So I would go and we'd be watching a horror movie. It would be a group of 4 or 5 of us. Either I close my eyes or I kind of like brush my head off to the side. I ain't watching. So I did that as a grown man, and to this day I have no shame about it because I don't care for the horror genre either. I don't go for gore. I don't go for cheap scares. It just doesn't interest me. You're probably asking to this point, why the are you reviewing Funko's horror figures from the Savage World line? So let's go ahead and take a look at them. Right from the start, it's evident that they are reminiscent of those classic 80s Motu Masters of the Universe toys that a lot of us kids of the 80s grew up with. That is the primary reason that they caught my attention. I saw them last year when they released they first released under the license Mortal Kombat. From that line, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like these. You know, what else are they going to do? Because that was the initial line, and they hadn't released anything else. And then I think it was Toy Fair earlier this year in February. They finally just start showing off some of the other lines, and one of the licenses was the horror franchises. This initial wave 1, there's 5 figures in the line. I only picked up 2, Michael Myers and Jason. We're gonna take a look at them in a quick minute. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let me take a look at first Jason. Look, I'm not gonna take the package out. I'm not gonna rip it open. I like all my stuff, majority, to stay mint on card. So I'm gonna keep it that way. So the packaging itself is very minimal. It's not nothing special. You know, there's no really good artwork or anything like that on there. For the Jason one, it's just some trees in the background with Friday the 13th on the top. Jason looks like he's from that Conan the Barbarian age, and I really like that. Like I said, these are reminiscent and they draw inspiration from that classic Masters of the Universe line, and I really like that. It's really nostalgic for me. Even though I wasn't a big Masters of the Universe fan growing up, it's a little bit before my time, those action figures are so reminiscent of my childhood. Every kid had them. I had them. I had a couple of them. I didn't have the whole line or anything. I wasn't like a super collector back then, but I had He-Man toys. And these are so dead on those. Unless you appreciate those toys, those classic He-Man toys, you're probably not gonna like this line. So anyways, Jason has his iconic hockey mask. He's got a little bit of damage on his face. You can see his jawline and everything. And every movie he was in, you know, the dude at some point would rip off his mask, and here we go again. The Jason movies is the same story all the time. He dies, he comes back, he dies, he comes back. They find some stupid way to bring him back. Anyways, not a big fan of the Jason or the Friday the 13th movies, but I like Jason as a character in toy form. That's why I picked him up. I thought they did a good job. And so the only accessories he comes with is a battle axe and his iconic machete. Moving on, we are on to my favorite iconic killer, slasher wave, or whatever you want to label him. That's Michael Myers. And like I mentioned before, as a teenager, I watched the whole Halloween series up to that point. It was only up to 6. H2O hasn't even came out yet. I forced myself to watch it. Some of them were better than others. Skipped Halloween 3, and now here we are. Right off the bat, right away, you notice it's our iconic mask, the William Shatner white mask. It looks dead on like him, and the thing that I really liked was a detail in the eyes. I remember in the original movie, he mentioned, Dr. Loomis mentioned something about the darkness of the eyes, the blackest eyes. I forgot. I'm paraphrasing, but basically it was the devil's eyes.
Blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
I'm probably wrong on that, but whatever. But yeah, so I thought they did a really good job with the mask. Right away, you know, boom, that's Michael Myers. It's iconic. You can't miss it. It's very similar to the Jason figure. All these figures are alike. He's got his outfit is most reminiscent of his actual outfit that he wore in the movies, the blue or black blue or black mechanic overalls, whatever you want to call it. This figure has 2 accessories, both butcher knives. He uses them in almost every movie. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to go into detail about these figures. They're kind of plain and simple, and it's the simplicity that I really appreciate about these figures. And so, real quick, the line continues on in the back. There's 3 more figures. I didn't get the Freddy figure. I didn't get the Pinhead figure, and I skipped the Leatherface figure. That was just a choice I made. There was no real reason behind it other than I just wanted the Jason and the Michael Myers. Now, these figures aren't for everybody. If you're a Funko fan, more than likely you're a pop collector. And I get that. I used to collect pops too, but I really faded on the whole pop line. And I know there's going to be some pop groupies out there that will defend the line no matter what. But I just got tired of it. And I just I'm going to go back to my roots and collect stuff that I really love to collect, and that is reminiscent of my childhood, that nostalgia. And for me, Pops just wasn't cutting it. However, when Funko came out with this line, I right away saw what they were doing and who they were aiming at. I felt like this line was aimed towards the adult collector, which I really truly appreciate. While these might not be the popular choice for Funko fans, they're popular with me, and I really appreciate what Funko did with these. Other than these, they're also going to be releasing Thundercats, which I have already reserved. Can't wait for that. And then also the DC Primal Age line, which just recently started having pre-orders. I pre-ordered the Batman figures only. We'll see how the rest of the line comes out. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I commit to the entire line. So that does it for this Halloween episode. I'm not a big fan of Halloween. I don't care about horror. I don't care about the horror movies. So why I made a horror or why I made a Halloween video to begin with, I don't know. And with that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. This has been an episode of the Retro Southpaw. Please always keep an open mind. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.
Lady, you know you're driving me crazy. Ooh, yeah. I think you're goddamn beautiful. Lady, you know you're driving me crazy.